Hi everybody, Sylvia. So, oh my goodness, it has been so hot here in southern Arizona. I think over the last couple days it was like something around 111, and that's Fahrenheit if you're watching from another country outside of the United States. So it's really hot. And what I've been noticing is people are getting crazy and like losing their minds, but not in a good way of like having space and being all meditative, kind of like crazy. And so I was thinking of different things that might be a contribution to people when they lose their mind. Well, first of all, if you don't know, I work at a popular grocery store in the United States. And today there was a guy that came, he was waiting in line and he looked really mad because he was waiting in line for more than 5 minutes, and he was waiting and he had one foot in one line and one foot in the other line, and somebody approached and the guy thought he was in my line, so, or in the other line, so he came into mine, and the guy said, "Don't you dare." And and the other guy was just like, whoa. Because I've been noticing people get really angry, and maybe they're dehydrated too. But, and so I was like, oh, awesome. He's coming through my line. And so I could just tell he was like so hot and overtired or something, and that the heat was not like a good mixture for him. So when he came through my line, he was like, "Every time I come to the line, something goes wrong." And I was just like, in the past I put up barriers, but I lowered my barriers, and I was just like, I was there with him, and I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, that stinks, like, I think I was being dorky like that. Anyways, I was like, yeah. And then he was just like, I just want to get my stuff. And I just said, well, if you want to hang out a little longer, you can hang out in the cooler freezer area and you can cool off. And I guess that was the last thing he really wanted to do. But I think by being that space of just like being with him and just being like, hey, why don't you just hang out a little longer and get some cool off, he burst into laughter, and then he left with a smile. It's so weird. Instead of me putting up barriers and then him putting up barriers, more barriers, and then it going and exploding, instead, I was just like, yeah, I hear ya. And then I was like, why don't you just hang out, cool off, chill? And I guess he thought that was like the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his life. And he left, and he was like a little bit lighter. So you never know when you're like that space of, acknowledging where somebody else is at instead of resisting, and just, being with them, what that can shift. And so, yeah, I guess I was going to make a video about how to handle the summer heat, but that will be a subsequent one. Anyways, I hope everybody has a nice evening or day or whatever time it is, and we'll talk soon. Bye.